All right. 6 quick thoughts with James Ham. What do we got?
How'd yesterday's Kings game go?
Really well.
Kings insider James Ham has 6 notes you need to know.
Yeah.
Here are James Ham's 6 quick thoughts.
And James Ham, number 1.
DeMar DeRozan carried this team. The game got all mucked up, and I thought he stepped up in a game that no one else was able to sort of capture what was happening, and became the guy early in the game. 17 or 19 first half points. Really did a good job of carrying this team, picking them up when they needed it.
It's exactly what we talked about with DeMar DeRozan when they picked him up. They didn't need a number 1 scoring option. They might have not even needed a number 2 scoring option, but an experienced Hall of Famer whose elite skill is getting a bucket when his team needs it.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly like last night was the quintessential DeMar DeRozan game.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the fact that the Kings have one of those guys right now is really huge.
Yep. Number 2.
Fox hits 10,000 points for his career.
Yeah, good for De'Aaron.
Like, look, if De'Aaron Fox is going to stick around long term, which I think he will, and I hope that he does, he will hold almost every single one of the Kings records. He came into the season 72 games behind Jason Thompson for the all-time leader in games played in the Sacramento era. So he's now 69 games away from being the all-time leader in games played.
Mm-hmm.
This is just one of those milestones. He's the 5th Sacramento King. Well, no, the 5th King in franchise history to reach the 10,000 point plateau.
Really cool.
Yeah, good stuff.
Shout out to De'Aaron Fox. We'll have more on this later.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3.
Kevin Huerter's back. I think that Kevin Huerter looks like Kevin Huerter from 2 years ago, and that makes his team much more interesting. And like realistically, all of a sudden, if you can add another really good scorer and a great 3-point shooter to what they already have going, then it just makes his team better.
This is why there was so much urgency around him. Mm-hmm. This is why there was so much angst about like, hey, what the hell's going on with Kevin Huerter? Should he still be starting? What is he doing here? Is because like, hey, when he's on like this, it takes the Kings to a little bit different level.
Well, and this is also, Kyle, why you don't give up on him.
Yep.
I mean, that's the tough thing. If he's 26 years old, this is why you don't just like go
give him away.
No, just give him away.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wanted to do that. No, let's see if we can get Kevin Huerter back to being the dude he was 2 years ago.
Number 4.
Sabonis is 5 of 9 from 3 over his 3 games. He had another double-double, but to me, it's he's a willing 3-point shooter, and he was really good. He didn't put up the triple. He got close to a triple-double. If the Kings' offense was flowing at all in the first half, he would have had a triple-double. I thought he was really good, and he's been great in the first 3 games.
Averaging 3 3-point attempts per game is this is exactly what I was looking for.
That's what it is. Yeah, he doesn't need to be 5.
Nope.
Or 6. No,
if he gets
3,
to 5 or 6
3.5
every now and then, great.
Yeah.
But averaging 3 a game, that is exactly like, yes.
Yeah, I think he's going to fight that. Like, he's not going to try to ever get to 6, but you never know. I mean, you played Gobert a couple more times.
Well, if you're knocking him down, like you're hurting the team by not shooting him.
No, I agree.
Good for Domas. Number 4.
Keon plays 14 minutes. You know what, Kyle? In this one, number 1, Keon hit a baseline, a corner 3, which I thought, okay, really good for him. But the big play that he had was, I think he came away with a steal, and then the ball got stripped, and then he dove on the floor and fought for the possession. That's the Keon Ellis that we need to see. Like what we've seen what we saw in the first game, what we saw in the preseason, did not feel like the Keon Ellis from last year. In the same way that Kevin Huerter didn't feel like himself all last season. So it's good to see Keon not only like be productive in his minutes, but find a way to like get back to who he is at his core.
Yep. We'll have more on Keon Ellis coming up in a bit as well. Last one, number 6.
The bench is Malik Monk and no one else at this point.
Oh boy.
And it's a little rough, and you're hoping that that's not going to be the case. But, Keon had 3 points. Alex Len might have had a bucket, but it was 12 of 18 points from the bench was Malik Monk before they went to the group late in the game, and Doug McDermott hit the 2 threes.
They got outscored 48-24 by the Blazers bench.
Yeah, and again, take away like 6 of those because that was McDermott after the game was basically over.
Yeah,
The bench, like, you got to figure it out, and Trey Lyles is trying so hard to figure it out. And I don't know if you saw, he got really frustrated last night and ripped his shirt off, his jersey off. He said that we asked him about it in post game, and he said it was just way too tight. Like he got on the court and was like couldn't breathe because his jersey was too tight, and so he literally ripped it off and had to go get a new jersey and came back out. I asked him if it was a schmedium. He goes, "Yeah, it was a schmedium," and like I was not feeling it. Wild.